The Ukraine crisis, U.S. inflation at a 40-year high on top of looming COVID surge. At a time when everyone thinks the world can't take any more messes. Nancy Pelosi, Speaker of the U.S. House of Representatives, visited Taiwan recently and met with its leader Tsai Ing-wen. Pelosi's visit becomes the highest level U.S. visit to Taiwan in 25 years.
This is an unnecessary provocation. There is nothing to be gained by Pelosi's visit.
It is viewed by the Chinese as a provocation. Right after her landing, multiple Chinese ministries voiced strong opposition, saying the visit has maliciously infringed on China's sovereignty and blatantly engaged in political provocations. As countermeasures, China's armed forces, the People's Liberation Army, have begun live-fire military drills and missile tests around Taiwan in 6 exclusion zones encircling the island, starting Thursday. The drills are expected to last 4 days. China is certainly not buying what the U.S. has said. Look, her trip doesn't mean anything. It's just another regular congressional visit. First off, it's not. She met with Taiwan's top leader. Second, the U.S. cannot maintain official ties with Taiwan, and that is listed in the joint communiques between China and the U.S. In the Shanghai communique signed back in 1972 by both sides, and I quote here, the U.S. side declared, the United States acknowledges that all Chinese on either side of the Taiwan Strait maintain there is but one China, and that Taiwan is a part of China. The United States government does not challenge that position. In the second communique, Washington said that again. The government of the United States of America acknowledges the Chinese position that there is but one China, and Taiwan is part of China. And in 1982, 4 years after China and the U.S. officially established their diplomatic relationship, the two governments issued the third communique. Washington reaffirmed its position on the island, saying, the United States of America recognized the government of the People's Republic of China as the sole legal government of China, and that there is but one China, and Taiwan is part of China. Within that context, the two sides agreed that the people of the U.S. would continue to maintain cultural, commercial, and other unofficial relations with the people of Taiwan. I don't think Pelosi's visit falls into any of the categories, which is why this former Taiwan politician said this.
The number one consequence is that the United States is now clearly a participant, an intervening force, and even their self-proclaimed stakeholder, because they said in NATO, in other places, that everywhere democracy is the United States mandate. So they have self-proclaimed that they are also a stakeholder in the cross-strait issue.
And also this Columbia University professor.
It is one of the stupidest foreign policy blunders of the United States in modern history, and it's a shame on President Biden, who should have stopped this. Apparently, he knew this was wrong, but he was so weak that, or for whatever reason that we don't understand, did not stop this. It's very sad, and it's very dangerous.
So why can't Biden stop her? Some may say, hey, you don't understand how U.S. politics works.
Speaker Pelosi makes her own decisions, as other members of Congress do, about their overseas travel. That was made clear.
Really? She took a military aircraft to get there. The Biden administration did warn her not to go, afraid to escalate tensions at this point. Ahead of his Asia trip, President Joe Biden had said publicly that the U.S. military did not believe it was a good time for Pelosi to visit Taiwan. But according to a CNN report quoting 2 sources, Biden has since stopped short of telling her directly not to go. And yet the Biden administration stressed that their policy towards China has not changed. They're still in support of the One China principle. What's that all about?
如果两岸擦枪走火，如果中美擦枪走火，后果谁负责？后果还是台湾地区负责因为台湾会变成战场，战场以后死的人是台湾人。请大家记得，不管是美国国务院或是联合国的公报，世界只有一个中国。
And he's right. Pelosi can come and go. But what about the people of Taiwan? Chinese mainland has announced suspension of imports of several agricultural products from Taiwan, including grapefruits, lemons, oranges, and 2 types of fish, citing regulations and food safety requirements. The ban could drag down Taiwan's GDP by 0.1 percentage point, economics professor of Xiamen University, Dai Shugeng, told Global Times. The professor also did a little calculation. If the mainland bans all kinds of products from Taiwan, the island's GDP will plunge into contraction. Please keep in mind, the Chinese mainland is Taiwan's largest trading partner. Total trade in 2021 reached $328 billion. The mainland does not want to hurt its Taiwan brothers and sisters, but this time they're playing tough for those Taiwan independent forces.
For instance, sand, construction. If that has, China has said they're not going to send any more sand to Taiwan. If that is in fact the case, Taiwan will get it from somewhere else, but that will increase the cost. They're not buying from China because it's more expensive. So as a result, you're starting to see this ongoing continuation of inflationary spiral, which is going to affect everybody.
And that's something that we all hate to see. All right, that's it for this edition of Facts How. Thank you so much for watching, and make sure to leave your comments down below. We want to hear from you. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.